In actuality, the situation of finding fingerprints of the Christ is so bleak that Christian scholars are themselves forced to admit there really isn't much evidence for the life of Jesus at all. For example, the founder of the modern evangelical movement, F.F. Bruce, states, quote, "Apart from the New Testament writings and later writings dependent on these, our sources of information about the life and teaching of Jesus are scanty and problematic." Unquote. In the same vein, Dr. Merrill Tenney, a conservative evangelical Christian who was a professor of theological studies and the dean of the School of Theology at Wheaton College, as well as an original translator of the NASB and NIV editions of the Bible, also remarks, quote, "One would naturally expect that the Lord Jesus Christ would be sufficiently important to receive ample notice in the literature of his time, and that extensive biographical material would be available. He was observed by multitudes of people, and his own followers numbered into the hundreds, whose witness was still living in the middle of the first century. As a matter of fact, the amount of information concerning him is comparatively meager. Aside from the 4 Gospels and a few scattered allusions in the epistles, contemporary history is almost silent concerning him." Unquote. In actuality, contemporary history is entirely silent concerning Jesus Christ, as if he never existed. And we hear the same from Dr. John Meyer, a Catholic University New Testament professor, ex-Catholic priest, and Monsignor, who likewise admits the difficulty of finding any kind of path as to who Jesus was. Quote, "There are very few sources for knowledge of the historical Jesus beyond the 4 canonical Gospels. Paul and Josephus offer little more than tidbits. Claims that later apocryphal Gospels and the Nag Hammadi material supply independent and reliable historical information about Jesus are largely fantasy. In the end, the historian is left with the difficult task of sifting through the 4 Gospels for historical tradition." Unquote. Finally, the Universal Jewish Encyclopedia summarizes the problem of not having many fingerprints of the Christ. Quote, "The only definite account of his life and teachings is contained in the 4 Gospels of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. All other historical records of the time are silent about him. The brief mentions of Jesus in the writings of Josephus, Tacitus, and Suetonius have been generally regarded as not genuine and as Christian interpolations. In Jewish writings, there is no report about Jesus that has historical value. Some scholars have even gone so far as to hold that the entire Jesus story is a myth." Unquote.